Okay, is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So make sure that you are in the correct course. Like the course title is Industrial Aerodynamics and the subject codes are this. Excuse me. Okay, so to give you a brief overview about the course, so far you might have studied aerodynamics, low speed, high speed aerodynamics, unsteady aerodynamics, for example. But in those courses, what we do is, or what you might have learned is uh, the dynamics of air and structure interaction or object interaction, and mostly you look into the details of aerofoil, like how the lift and drag is produced, and in terms of its application and all. Okay, so however, this particular course we'll be looking into slightly different way. Like the name itself suggests, it's industrial aerodynamics. So otherwise, you can think about this as a applied aerodynamics. Okay, so it is more like engineering application oriented subject. Like in particular aerodynamics, how do you use in the various engineering application? Okay, so another thing. What we don't discuss in previous courses, like we don't talk about air or the wind as such. Like when we say aerodynamics, so there is a significant part that comes from the wind or air, right? So we don't specify its condition itself. So without knowing about the wind condition or atmospheric condition, talking about the interaction doesn't make much sense. Like in an overall viewpoint, you can find out like how those interaction happen, and you can govern the the lift coefficient, drag coefficient, or performance of the aerofoil. But here we'll be also targeting about to know the details of the wind condition. Okay, so some universities they also float this subject in a different name, like wind engineering as well. So what I have done here, I have revised the course structure. Like you might have seen the syllabus available online. So these will be the course content for this particular course. Of course, based on your suggestion, we can also try to accommodate few of the things which you feel if it is not covered in this content, we can discuss about that subsequently. So what I thought at the first three chapters, like you can see, it will be mostly on the to know about the atmosphere, wind condition, and yeah. So then subsequently, once you know about the details of the wind, we will look into the how you can harvest the wind energy. So different type of devices like wind turbines, various wind turbines, we will look into that, and ongoing research on the wind turbines, that also I will try to cover. So then the next part will be on the blub body aerodynamics. Okay, so in that we'll be covering about blub body in general, like vehicle aerodynamics, building aerodynamics. So all those we'll be covering. So I have separate slides for all of this. Subsequently, when I go, I will discuss in details. Okay, so this is overall what I'm going to cover in this particular course. Okay, so first three chapter is about atmosphere and wind. Then the next one will be on the wind energy harvesting, then the blub body aerodynamics, and in that itself you can see there will be structure, fluid structure interaction, kind of wind loading on the structures, that also we will investigate. Okay, and at the end, if we have time, like I will mostly give term papers on this particular subject, like wind tunnel experiments or CFD on the wind engineering and industrial aerodynamic problems. Okay, and if I have time, then I will go through some of the details. Otherwise, this will be mostly on the term paper type. Okay, so okay, let me talk about the evaluation process. So this will be again like continuous evaluation, like the previous semester, the way we followed, the same thing will be continued. Like we don't, I suppose we don't have midterm and end term so far. If that comes into the picture later on. So this evaluation process will be different, but so far this will be what I will be following for the particular course. There will be term projects. Like I will divide the total number of students into several groups. Like some of you who have attended the previous course, physics of fluid flow experiments. So in the similar pattern, that evaluation will happen. Like I'll divide all of the students into several groups, and the term papers will be given to them. Okay. Now instead of giving a weekly assignment, I will give you the specific term project that you can start from the very beginning, and we will discuss about your progress on weekly basis, like how far you have means what is your progress in the on a weekly basis. That will be evaluated, and it will be through presentation and report. Okay, so what you have investigated in that particular week, you need to give me a report or submit a report. That the report should not be very large, like it should be within 2 pages, and that will be a group report again. Okay, so weekly presentation, a group presentation, and a group report. That will contain 40% of overall grade. Then there will be also, I mentioned MCQ test. There might be subjective type of test or mixed MCQ and subjective, so which will carry 50%. Then the remaining 10% will be on your class performance and the attendance. Okay, so this is subjected to, like, if there is no midterm and end term. If that happens, then we need to revise these things. Okay. Okay, so let me quickly give you the overview of each chapters that we will be covering. So the first chapter, what I said, is about atmosphere and the wind data analysis. So in this, we will be discussing about how wind is generated in general, and by taking in a global scenario. Okay, when you go to the North Pole, South Pole, equator, like how do you see the wind pattern and how it is generated? So those things we'll be discussing. And there will be mathematical model that will cover the cyclonic situation. Okay, and we'll be also looking into the wind data and how we can analyze the specific wind data. So like you know that when you apply the boundary condition over the aerofoil, we don't talk about the exact wind scenario on the aerofoil, like how what kind of wind condition it is facing, right? So this will be looking into, like, what actually wind condition is there in the atmosphere. So, and how we gather the data and how we can get a meaningful information from those data. We will be looking into that. Okay, so this will be mostly on their first chapter, like atmosphere and wind data analysis. So there will be various mathematical model that will discuss about cyclonic condition, then and also we will discuss about okay, so that will be in the next chapter, the boundary layers. Okay, so atmospheric boundary layers, modeling the boundary layer will be also another thing that is again related to your wind data analysis. So here we will be seeing how the boundary layer is evolving with change in the season, like winter, summer, spring season. What are the difference, and in a particular daytime also, if you have a rainy day or a summer day, so how the boundary layer evolves. And why this is important, because you can see that based on the boundary layer structure, the wind condition is actually will get affected. So mostly the surrounding buildings, like nearby the building environment will be significantly modified with the boundary conditions or with the boundary layer development. So that is what we are going to see in the next chapter, like how the atmospheric boundary layer actually gets affected with the weather condition. And also here I have shown that if the terrain condition is different, like if you have a highly industrial terrain, how the boundary layer evolves, and if you have a flat land or a forest land or a mixture kind of thing, so how the boundary condition affects actually evolution of the boundary layer. So those will be also, we are looking into that. So this will be again wind and means knowing about the wind, that continues. Then the third chapter will be air pollutant dispersion. Like you know that there are a lot of pollutant these days which comes from either vehicle pollution or chimney, for example, industrial pollution. So we'll be looking into this industrial pollution in more detail because it affects the people who are living nearby. Okay, so we'll be modeling this plume or pollutant dispersion, and we'll see how actually you can stabilize the dispersion of this pollutant. There are various shapes as you can see here, and these are governed by various factors like what speed your wind is blowing and at what speed you are actually ejecting those pollutant into the atmosphere. So those affects different shape of your pollution or dispersion of the pollutant. So those we will be looking into that, and how you can actually stabilize these things and not affect much to the people living nearby. So those factors will be there. So this will cover wind in general up to here. So these 3 chapters will be mostly on the wind in general. Okay. So next we will be looking into wind engineering. Like I said, harvesting of the wind energy. So we will be discussing about various historical techniques that those have been in use, or some of these are currently also in use. How we can actually harvest the energy from the wind, like you know that it's a renewable source of energy. So there are various ways those olden in the old days people have already thought about. So we'll be reviewing that, and we'll be also going into the details of the modern wind turbine and see about how the performance actually has improved over the years. Okay, so here you can see that there is a power coefficient plot for different wind turbines. So this will be discussing about it, and a few research topics also we can see, like innovative ideas how you can use the wind energy in a beneficial way. So this may be going in some term papers also. So this we will cover in this particular chapter, harvesting the wind energy. Then another part of the discussion will be again, this is another chapter on the wind engineering. So blob body aerodynamics. So like you know that blob body are those objects where your length to width ratio are more or less same. Okay, so not like the aerofoil or streamline bodies. So here we can discuss about the vehicle aerodynamics, like on-road vehicle, the design of that, and the flow structures or flow evolution around the vehicle for different type of geometries. So that will be on vehicle aerodynamics. Then there will be another portion where we'll be discussing about the building aerodynamics, like if you have a clustered of building, how the flow regime actually evolves in and around, and whether this is comfortable to the people living in that region. That also will be investigating. Like you can see here in this particular figure, if you have a small building and a tall building, so there are different flow regimes that evolve in and around the building. Okay, so people who are walking, for example, in this corridor, they may not feel more comfortable. Okay, so those conditions we are going to evaluate when we discuss about the building aerodynamics. So which these two together comes under the blob body aerodynamics. Okay, and we will also obviously going to discuss the traditional flow path circular cylinder, square cylinder, and various other which represents this blob body geometries. So that also
Sir,
I will cover.
sir, for me, the slide is still the harvesting of wind energy only.
Can you see now?
No.
What about others? Is it?
Yes, sir, we can see blob body aerodynamics.
Yes, it is
Okay.
changed. It has changed.
Okay, maybe you have internet issue, Arshajit.
Okay, I'll check.
So then the next chapter will be it's this kind of fluid structure interaction. In this case, we'll be discussing about in a different way wind loading on the structures. Okay, so we'll be taking few examples of the building structures, like conventional rooftop buildings, like you can see here, and try to analyze if you have wind coming from different direction, how actually the loading happens, okay, on different part of the or different structures associated with this building. Okay, so this will be analyzed, like wind loading on the structures. And here you can think about like aeroelasticity in some way. I will be trying to cover like vortex induced vibrations, and actually fluids and structure coupled interaction. Those scenarios also I'll try to give you some insights on that. And yeah, so the last chapter will be on the experiments and CFD, or computational fluid dynamics, on industrial aerodynamics problems in general. So we'll be discussing about wind tunnels, which already you have learned I might have learned in your lab course or in other courses. So I will give you a general overview about the wind tunnel and what kind of experiments generally done on a industrial or the building settings and vehicle aerodynamics. So whatever we have learned in theory, those in an experimental way or from CFD, we will try to get the more insights, like what are the flow field, time evolution of the flow field, the velocity field, vorticity field, even the pressure field. Those information we can get using the CFD tools that already you know, and the experimental information or validation of your CFD data through experiments. And in some cases, experiments are more reliable and feasible to do than computation. So those things we will try to cover here. And these are some of the books that I'm going to refer during throughout the course. So particularly Simuyan's Callan, Wind Effect on the Structures. This will be what I will be following, and JD Holmes, Wind Loading on the Structures. And most of my content will be also from a Journal of Wind Engineering and Industrial Aerodynamics. Okay, so since this is, you can see that this is more like a research oriented course, not like a traditional or a conventional aerodynamic course. So we will have a lot of research material also in it. Yeah, so I think that is a brief overview about what I'll be covering in this course. And now you can tell me what you would like to learn apart from this, or anything that you might have already learned that we can skip it. So it's open for discussion now. You guys are there?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what do you think? What we should, how do you think that this course, the content wise, should we include any extra thing?
Sir, in bluff body aerodynamics, we could, you're taking a look on vehicles and you're taking a look on buildings. We could
Yes.
even take a look on, trees or canopies.
Canopies, okay. Okay. So actually that part is there in the atmospheric boundary layer when I will discuss. Not in detail, but yes, some portions will be there based on the forest land or different terrains. Okay. Okay. Anyways, I'll try to add something on trees. Okay. Any other interesting things?
Have a more general discussion of aerosols. Like we'll be doing pollutants and I think maybe smoke. Can we have a little bit more general discussion on aerosols? So maybe like in case of medical uses and combustion.
Okay, so the constituents or the chemical chemistry of that, something like that you want?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, maybe I will try to give you the, improve on that. Pollutant, they actually.
Yeah, pollutants are there. So I mean, I don't know if the treatment is very different from the general cases.
Aerosols. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Previously what I used to include in the pollutants, like the vehicle pollution, like nitric oxide, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. So those I used to include, but aerosol, okay, I will try to find out how, in what industry settings we can generally use this and how it can affect our pollution, air pollution actually. Okay. Anything else? Like I thought about including another application of aerodynamics, like flapping aerodynamics, which I work on, but I think that will be too much for this course. And there are other application of the aerodynamics also. But let's see if we have time. Otherwise, like I used to give you the term papers in the last course, right? So those areas which I cannot cover, I will try to give the term papers and we can quickly discuss on that and everyone can get benefited out of it. So that is what also can be done. Okay. Sounds good?
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so like the registration is still going on. So the final student list, I don't know yet because I saw like yesterday night also after I sent the email, there are a few more students who joined late. So tomorrow I'm not going to take the class. About Friday, Friday is on 8th. Friday I will try to take the class or if I don't take, it will be on the next week. Because there are PhD students who still did not join this semester. So I think if I start, then I need to restart again for them. So most likely I'm going to start the course from the next Wednesday. So another thing, maybe that will be we can discuss in the next week about the Friday's class. If you can shift it to some other day because it seems to be very early in the morning. So we will try to shift it to some other day. Like once all the students when the student list is finalized, then maybe we can discuss about that. Okay, so I'll drop you a message if I'm going to take this Friday's class on the MS team. If not, then it will be on the next week. Okay.
Sir.
Yes.
I had a small request to make. So basically, can we have
Yes.
can we decide our own groups when we are making a project? That would be very helpful because sometimes we just don't know or don't get to communicate. And like last time, we had to work in groups of 3 instead of 4. So if we could make our own groups, that would be very helpful.
Okay, in one way that is beneficial. In other way, if someone doesn't want to join the group and left out, we can actually discuss that. Okay, maybe when we probably in the next class, once the student list is finalized, you can give your preferred choice. Maybe I can share a Google sheet, then the preferred choices can be marked on that Google sheet and accordingly. I don't have any hard and first rule, like it's up to you how
Sir,
you can
but
choose the group mates.
I feel if all choose their preferable group mates, then one group will have might have like all the
Performing student and the other
yes,
one not performing.
So
Okay,
that
so
might be
I take those into account, but what I did last time, I just based on the rule list, whatever it was shown on the ERP, I took based on that. So this time we can discuss on this. Okay.
Sir,
Alright.
last time what happened was that there was a lot of miscommunication and everything in the group because we didn't know each other. If it is possible that some people who already have acquaintance make a group, then there won't be there, sir. So basically the left out students can be formed the group by like whatever method you prefer. But for those who already know and work together from like 4 years, they can be allowed to form the group?
Okay, so I will share the Google Sheet. You can give your choices, like which group you want to be, like group number 1, 2, 3, 4, so that when I see the same number, then I can put them, maybe form a group for all those same choice people. Yeah, we will find out a way how we can distribute the weaker student and the performing student, because I don't want like one group to perform excellent and the other one to be left out. So that happened in the last semester. Like few groups are not performing or underperforming. Even in the same group, a few students were performing, few were not. So the idea is it should be a mixed group so that everyone get benefited. We will do in some better way, okay, than the previous one. All right. Any other suggestion? Any other?
So
Sir,
how many
regarding
people were there in a
the
group
course.
last semester?
Last semester there were around 25
Four.
or 24 students. So
No,
four
in a
students.
single group.
Four.
Acha,
Four.
four.
That is what I was calculating. There are 8 or 6 groups, so 4 students around.
Acha.
So this time also will be same, 4 or 5, but this will be a different way of evaluation. Like previous semester or the previous course, I used to give the topic or separate topic in every week. What I'm going to do this time is there will be a term project for each specific group, and they are going to, the work will be evaluated based on their progress every week. So like, for example, if I give you a general idea about that, you have a term project on a particular topic, let's say studying about the wind turbine. So in the first week, maybe first 1 or 2 week, you guys need to do the literature review of those group members. They need to do the literature review, and specific those literature review will be covering about different aspects of the wind turbine. Like starting from the very olden days wind turbine to coming to the recent ones or the modern ones. Then maybe after that, you guys need to talk about the different computational techniques or the experimental techniques those are used to study about the wind turbines. So that may be for 1 or 2 more weeks. Then about the specific results, what they try to find out. Okay, so those will be again maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So they like this, it will be evaluated, and it will be better if you can have your own simulation. Like I think some of you might have access to ANSYS Fluent or any other fluid solvers simulation softwares. So or you might have developed your own softwares even. So that you can use to simulate and produce some of your own result, which will carry, of course, extra mark. So like this, so a term paper, the evaluation will be in this way, like weekly progress. So I think, is it is it clear to all of you? Like, or is there any doubt on this part?
So last course we were assigned a different topic for each week. I'm guessing
Yes.
this is a common topic that we build towards.
No, yes,
Or is
a group will be working on a particular topic throughout the semester. So there won't be different topic like weekly basis. We are not going to change the topic. So it's a kind of a project work, you can say, instead of just seeing
Okay,
into
yes.
the specific topic in 1 week. You are going to stay on the same topic throughout your semester.
Yes, I got it.
Okay, any other doubt?
Okay, so we can just like whatever work we have done in a week, we can like
Talk about that.
present, yes, present that to you.
Yes. Okay. Okay, I think that's all for today. If you don't have any more questions, then we end our meeting here, and we will meet probably next week. Okay, if not Friday, next week. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you,
Take
sir.
care.
So
Bye bye.
can
Yes.
can we cover automobile industry just based on my personal interest? Like I find the design of cars and their application of
I cannot go to
based on
the
aerodynamic aspects really good.
from aerodynamic aspect. I can cover few things, but not the design of the wheel body. I mean, it will
No, sir,
not be
not
in
in
depth.
not the
Yes.
design aspects. Yes, sir.
From the
just
aerodynamics
aerodynamic
viewpoint,
aspects.
yes, I'm going to
That would be
discuss.
really
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Any other question?
Yeah, so I was curious what you will be covering in vehicle aerodynamics. Will it be drag reduction, shape optimization, all of that, or will you be covering any heat transfer part too?
No, heat
Cooling.
transfer, I think only up to the aerodynamics part, like drag reduction, flow separation control, some of the shape optimization, and means few of you might have worked on those projects, maybe specific projects, but mostly on this line, studying about the wake structures, drag, flow separation, how you can control that. That will be like a general overview. Then we go to the specific application of their different type of vehicle, how it has evolved over the time. Okay, so we
So
will.
will we have race car aerodynamics? It's not.
Maybe a little bit about it. Yes.
Okay, because downforce production is.
Yes. So those we will be seeing in that particular chapter. But again, you should be like don't expect much, because that itself can be like it can stretch up to few weeks. So everything all I need to complete within 13 weeks or 12 weeks for means semester. So I will try to cover as much as possible. Okay.
So we can also look into a bit of like naval things also.
Naval things. Okay. So hydrodynamics.
Yes.
Okay. I will see how and where I can add that. All right. Okay. Okay then. So we end here today. Bye bye. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.